Solo Showdown. It's that one mode where it's just you, your brawler, and the mission to survive till the very end. No teammates to rely on, no one to blame, just pure solo skill. And the best part? You actually gain more trophies here than in 3v3 modes. It's perfect for players who like doing things their own way, whether that means camping in the bushes, going full aggro, or just experimenting. Some people find it way more fun than 3v3s because it's all on you. And when those trophies start flying up fast, that feeling, it's unbeatable. Sometimes you see pros popping off with a brawler in Showdown, right? So you try the same one, and for some reason, it just doesn't work. You're out here trying your best, but nothing clicks. Then comes the real pain. You start overthinking. Is the brawler trash? Or is it just not my day? Don't worry though, in this video, I'm giving you the full Showdown guide so you can actually push your brawlers to high trophies without wanting to yeet your phone across the room. So yeah, before the teamers ruin your mood again, let me show you how to not get clapped. Let's go. Number 1, the playstyle. Every player has their own playstyle in Showdown. Some players like to team up with others, some go full aggro without teaming, while others prefer to camp in bushes and wait for most brawlers to get eliminated. In this tip, I'll be discussing all these playstyles, their advantages and disadvantages, so you can better understand which one suits you and how to adjust your strategy to improve your chances of winning Showdown matches. I'll also be sharing some useful tips to help you avoid common mistakes during the game. Let's start with the easiest and most laid-back strategy in Showdown, bush camping. This playstyle means you hide out in bushes and wait for other players to take each other out. It works best with brawlers like Shelly or Bull who can hit hard when someone gets too close. The biggest advantage here is low risk. You avoid early fights and increase your chances of surviving longer. When you start the match, only pick up the power cubes that spawn right near you. Don't go chasing cubes far away. Find a nearby bush and stay hidden. Once the poison gas starts moving in, carefully move to the next safe bush without getting spotted. Timing is everything. You want to make your move when no one's around watching. Getting caught while moving can get you eliminated fast. This style is great for slowly pushing trophies without a lot of stress, but it has downsides. You'll miss a lot of power cubes, which means you'll be weaker in the final showdown. Experienced players check bushes often, so the longer you camp, the more dangerous it gets. There's also a real risk of getting trapped between another player and the smoke, which can leave you with no way out. Just like teaming, bush camping doesn't really help you improve your skills or game sense. It's a solid way to survive, but not the best if you want to get better. Now let's move on to teaming playstyle. Teaming in Showdown is something most players have seen. 2 or more brawlers working together to survive longer. But the real strength of teaming isn't just in sticking together, it's how you use it to control the match. One smart trick is to spin once and stop. If the other player keeps spinning, it shows they need your help more than you need theirs. This silent signal puts you in control. They'll hesitate before turning on you, giving you space to position yourself better without showing weakness. Another useful move is to stay behind your teammate. Let them lead the way. If someone comes out of a bush or uses their super, your teammate will take the first hit. That gives you time to react and decide whether to join the fight or back off. It's like using them as a shield without them even noticing. When you spot a strong brawler loaded with power cubes but low on health, that's your moment to strike. Don't hold back, take them out quick and grab those cubes. Once you're the biggest threat on the map, everything changes. Suddenly, everyone wants to team up with you, even if you just took down one of their own. They'll be too nervous to mess with you because they don't want to be next. From there, you control how the match plays out. If you spot 2 players teaming up, focus on one and deal some damage to lower their health. If their teammate isn't very loyal, there's a good chance they'll backstab their partner without thinking twice. Just be careful, only try this when there are exactly 2 teamers. If their bond is strong or if there are 3 or more players in the group, they might all turn against you together. Finally, always plan ahead. Never trust your teammate too much. Work with them when it helps, but be ready to take them out the moment they become a threat. The best players know exactly when to stop teaming, and they do it clean, without hesitation. Now comes non-teaming or aggressive playstyle. Playing aggressive without teaming is the heart of Showdown. To win, you have to be ready to pressure other players and control the map. When you see weak opponents, don't hold back, push them hard to force mistakes or finish them off. Pressuring weaker players early helps you build an advantage and lowers the number of threats you face later. Another key part is third-partying. When 2 players are fighting, watch closely and jump in at the right moment to take out the one who's weaker or distracted. This way, you gain cubes and avoid wasting time in a long fight. Picking off brawlers who are about to become strong at the end of the game can save you trouble later. If you spot a powerful brawler with lots of cubes but low health, that's your chance to take them down quickly and grab those cubes for yourself. Teamers can be dangerous, even if you don't join them. Try to isolate and eliminate them one by one before they grow too strong. Breaking teams apart early stops them from controlling the match and keeps the playing field more even for you. Movement and map control are just as important as fighting. Always be aware of your surroundings and avoid getting trapped between enemies or caught in the poison gas. Moving carefully and choosing when to fight or run will increase your chances of survival. Finally, staying aggressive also helps you to improve your game sense and skill. You learn when to attack, when to defend, and how to react quickly to different situations. It's a faster way to grow as a player than camping or relying on teaming. Whoa, that was a lot of tips and information about Showdown. But we're not done yet. I still have more powerful tips to share, things most players have never even thought about. So stay with me till the very end, because what's coming next can seriously change your gameplay. And before we move on to the next tip, I want to tell you that if you're looking for high-quality custom thumbnails, logos, or banners for your YouTube channel, I highly recommend it's Edgar. He offers cool and professional designs at great prices. Plus you'll get 10% off if you use my code SOL4. I've included his Discord link in the description, so feel free to place your order. Now let's continue to the next tip. Number 2. Pushing strategy. In this tip, we'll talk about how you can push your brawlers to max tier without tilting in Showdown. Not only will these tips help you winning matches easily, but you can also push past 1000 trophies and even reach that ultra trophy box by playing Showdown each season. First, when you unlock a new brawler, your main goal should be to set a target where you can win consistently without getting frustrated. For example, aim for 800 trophies with that brawler. Then, break this goal down into smaller chunks of 50 or 100 trophies, whichever feels right to you. Focus on pushing those smaller chunks daily. If you start losing more trophies than you're gaining at any point, switch to a different brawler to keep your mindset fresh. Keep repeating this process, and you'll see a massive raise in your total trophies. Next, think about when you're playing. The time of day might not seem like a big deal, but it can really help. Peak hours, like weekends, evenings, or right after school, are when the most competitive players are online. Play your low trophy brawlers during these times. It's a good way to build a solid base without too much pressure. Then, save your high trophy brawlers for off-peak hours, early mornings, or late at night when fewer players are active. You'll find easier matches and more free wins this way. Just remember to take care of your health because you're not Hyra or Physic to grind 24/7. Also, don't be afraid to push more than one chunk at a time if you're feeling confident. Especially due to win streaks, it's not as hard as it sounds once you get into a rhythm. Keep this up every season, and you'll keep building your trophies steadily. This method makes pushing less stressful and more manageable, so you can climb the ranks without burning out. Number 3. Best brawlers for best maps. After you get the pushing strategy down, the next important thing is playing the right brawlers on the right maps. For example, if you use a squishy brawler like Crow, Colt, or Leon on a map with lots of bushes, you're likely to get taken out by someone hiding or camping in those spots. That's why it's important to pick brawlers who can handle these situations. On the other hand, picking a tanky brawler like Bull or El Primo on an open map can be risky if your opponents are using squishy brawlers, since they can keep their distance and chip away at you and allow others to make you their easy target. So it's not just about choosing good brawlers for Showdown, but also matching them with the right maps. A simple way to tell is by looking at the center of the map. If it's full of bushes, campers like Shelly or Bull will probably be there waiting. Since you're watching this video, now you know to pick brawlers that can counter those campers. Brawlers who can break and scout bushes, like Shelly and Tara, work well here. Buzz is also a solid pick because of his gadget that helps scout those bushes. If the map has an open center, especially with no wall cover, avoid short-range brawlers like Bull or El Primo because they're close-range attacks won't be effective in the endgame. Just remember, don't use short-range brawlers on maps with open centers, since those final moments decide the match. If you're playing a Showdown map and you notice a specific brawler being used a lot, picking its counters can really give you an edge. Also, in endgames, mid-range brawlers work great on open maps. On the other hand, short-range brawlers do well on maps with lots of bushes and walls. Keeping these things in mind will help your brawler choices in gameplay, making it easier to push trophies in Showdown without getting frustrated. Here's the current Solo Showdown tier list based on the meta right now. Number 4. Best builds. Now we'll talk about the best builds to use your brawlers at their maximum potential in Showdown. Since there are so many brawlers in the game, it's not really possible to break down every build here. But don't worry, I'll be uploading a full video covering all of them soon. In this tip, I'll focus on something most people overlook when choosing brawler builds. By playing Showdown or watching other content creators, you're most likely to see which star power and gadgets are being used for each brawler in certain maps. Like, if you notice someone using Angelo's piercing shot gadget, you might think it's the best gadget for him in Showdown. But here's the thing, the build they're using fits their playstyle, not yours. You've got to think for yourself and create builds that suit the way you play. In most cases, especially in Showdown, playing passive is the smarter choice. That piercing shot gadget is better for aggressive players, but it won't work if you're not used to diving into fights. So you have to go with the stinging flight gadget instead. That jumping gadget gives you better survivability and keeps you safer in bushy fights. That's how you create your own builds. Now for the gears, the damage gear is a must-have. It shines during panic moments and gives you clutch potential in close fights. Speed gear is great for bushy maps, but it's not for everyone. It fits better on tanks and assassins who rely on movement and versatility. The vision gear is good for squishy brawlers like Rico when you're on maps filled with bushes. It lets you scout better and avoid ambushes. The health gear is probably the most underrated one. In tight situations, it heals you up quicker and can totally flip a game in your favor. I actually reached rank 35 Shelly before the trophy system rework because of this gear. It saved me from tilt more times than I can count. And finally, the shield gear. It's great for low HP brawlers like Crow. If you're good at dodging and keeping your HP full, this gear gives you extra durability in fights. Between shield and heal gear, it really comes down to what you're comfortable with. Personally, I prefer the healing gear because it suits my playstyle. Number 5, the Showdown Gamesense. Gamesense is something that mostly comes from experience and can't really be taught that easily. You build it by playing Showdown again and again. It basically means understanding what's going on in the match and reacting the right way under pressure. To help you get better at it, I'll show some real in-game clips and break them down step by step so you can actually see how Gamesense works during different situations. So, in this game I'm playing Shelly. I took a cube and spun once. I have no intention of teaming with this Rosa, I just want to charge my super on her. Once Rosa started teaming with me, I took a step closer and tried to charge my super on her. But during that moment, my Gamesense kicked in. I felt like there might be someone else nearby, and it was Stu. I realized that if I managed to lower Rosa's HP, she'd become an easy target and with no way to escape from any direction. That's how I eliminated her using my gadget. Since I'm using a brawler that benefits from the central bushes of the map, I need to take control of that area. But before that, I make sure no one's hiding inside, so I start checking the bushes. And here's Buzz. Poor guy left his center position just to chase Stu. Now I've got full control. I camp at the upper side of the bush to buy some time. The best part about holding the center is that this Stu has no escape, and I can finish him off just with my attacks. Here he comes. Now I'm stuck in a 1v2 against 2 Buzzes. But since I saved my super thanks to my Gamesense, running towards the lower side, I don't get stunned by any of them. I activate Hypercharge, pop my super, and wipe them both out. Now let's break down this endgame. At this point, all of us have our supers. The one who uses it wisely here is most likely to win. So I activate my hypercharge and use my super on RT, along with my gadget and 1 ammo, to lower his HP and pressurize him. Then I use my next attack, but this time on Kit, hoping that after seeing RT slow HP, he might jump on him to finish him off. Since the Kit has nowhere to escape because of the poison gas, he ends up taking massive damage and then panics, retreats into the poison, and dies before he can even jump on RT. While hitting Kit, I kept in mind that he might jump on me instead, so I quickly stepped into the poison for a second just to avoid him. Then I came back, and since Kit was already down, I used my super on the low health RT and finished him off without even losing a third of my HP. My Band-Aid star power wasn't even triggered. That's the power of Gamesense. If you're experienced, you won't have to think this much during a match. You'll make the right moves without overthinking. It will feel automatic. Remember that never panic in endgame situations. That's the one mistake that can cost you everything. Number 6. Play 3v3s. Even if you're playing Solo Showdown, it's still important to mix in some 3v3 matches. These modes train a completely different side of your gameplay. You learn how to control your lanes, how to play around walls, and how to time your moves when there's real pressure on the objective. It builds raw instincts that you just can't get from camping or third-partying in Showdown. You'll start picking up small habits like when to rotate, when to hold position, or how to bait supers out of your opponents. These skills directly carry over to Solo from 3v3 game modes and ranked. You become faster with your decisions, better at dodging, hitting more shots, and more confident when you're low on HP or cornered. 3v3s are also great for learning brawler matchups. You understand who counters who and why, and that makes a big difference when you're down to a final 1v1 in Showdown. Even if you lose, the experience makes you sharper. So there you have it, guys. A full Solo Showdown guide, packed with strategies and tips to help you reach as many max tiers as possible. Honestly, I still feel like I might be forgetting something, but for now, this is everything I've got in this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I actually planned to drop this way earlier, but I ended up losing half of my draft file because of issues with my editing app, so I had to start over. Took more time than expected, but here we are. If you're still watching till this point, you've earned my respect. Drop your favorite game mode and map in the comments, because I'll be reading all of them. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm so thankful to you guys for 10,000 subscribers. You guys are the best. If you want any other guides, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.